Hey guys, I'm Mezzy and welcome to this quick start guide for Mythic the Dawnbreaker. Dawnbreaker is one of the new dungeons coming in the War Within and is part of the Season 1 dungeon pool. The first boss is Speaker Shadowcrown. To start with, interrupt Shadowbolt. When Obsidian Beam is cast, don't touch the beams and move with them as they rotate. Healers, the Burning Shadows debuff will be put on one person. Dispel this. This will then put a healing absorb on the entire group and deal damage to them while it's not been healed off. Next, when Collapsing Darkness is cast, move out of and away from the shadow circles. They will expand, so get the boss away from them. And lastly, at 50% and 1% health, Darkness Comes is cast. Everyone needs to mount up. Use your dragon riding mount to escape the ship to not be killed. Don't touch the giant ball of shadow, and when the cast ends, head back to the ship to continue the fight. The second boss is Anub'ikkaj. Before you start, kill the 3 lieutenants marked on the minimap in the area. If you don't, the boss will be empowered. When it comes to the boss, when you get the arrow on your head for Dark Orb, the boss is going to throw an orb at you. Move to a direction where the orb can float away without hitting any terrain. Everyone else should move away from your direction. The orb will spawn and travel until it collides with the terrain, such as a hill or a wall. The further away it is when it collides, the less AoE damage it'll do to your group. Last thing to note on the orb, if you get hit by it, you'll get a massive dot, so really move away from the direction that it's going to spawn in. Next, when Terrifying Slam is cast, move away from the tanks so that you're not in the circle. Tanks, you'll be knocked back, so have your back towards a wall. Radiant Decay will deal AoE damage, use a personal cooldown to help your healer. And lastly, when Animate Shadows is cast on you, ads will spawn from you, so run to the tank and interrupt and kill the ads. The last boss is Rasha'nan. This is a 3-phase encounter and requires you to pay close attention to spell animations. To start with, dodge the swirls from Expel Webs. When you get the arrow of rolling acid on your head, you'll see a green line. Next to that green line will be a wider streak of green. What will happen is a wave of poison is going to spawn from where you're standing, and this wave will move in the direction of the wider streak of green. So when targeted by this, move the line away from the group in such a way that they won't be hit by the wave. Is the wider streak on the right? Move to the right of the ship. Is it to the left? Move to the left of the ship. Anyone who gets hit by the wave will get a dot and be stunned, so just let it be you. Next, when Arathi bombs get thrown onto the ship, click on them, move to the boss, and use the extra action button to deal damage to the boss. Your own spells won't really deal much damage in this first phase. And lastly, in phase 1, Erosive Spray will deal AoE damage to the group, so you have to heal through that. When the boss flies away, you'll go into a short phase 2. Mount up on your dragon riding mount and stay close to the flying boat. It'll give you a protective buff from the darkness for your flight. When you land, stand close to the Arathi lamplighter so that he can keep you safe with his light. When the boss lands, interrupt Acidic Eruption and go into phase 3. In phase 3, you'll get the abilities from phase 1 again and one more ability to replace the bombs. When Spinneret Strands is cast, move away from others when you have the arrow on your head. You'll be connected to some webs. Move away from the webs to break their hold on you, but don't do it all at once. Every time someone breaks their strand, the entire group takes damage. The rolling acid can clean up the spiderweb pool that stays on the ground, but it will convert it into a green acid pool instead. Obviously, you don't want to stand in either type of pool. Lastly, tanks, just a note, you do need to stay in melee range of the boss to prevent tacky bursts from being cast. And that's all you need to know for the Dawnbreaker bosses. If you liked this video, please like, subscribe, and share it with others. I would very much appreciate it as it helps with the YouTube algorithm. You can also follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at twitter.com/bbmezzy and twitch.tv/bbmezzy. For now, I'm Mezzy, and I'll see you again next time.